should pick physics. You should pick life science. You should pick IT. No, consumer studies is too boring. What are you gonna do with what's lit? No, you should do pure maths. Only usually in this family do pure maths. These are all things that you hear from your family, friends, and teachers sometimes even. All shoving these thoughts and opinions down your throat or down your ears and into your brain. And such things make you want to, I don't know, leave school altogether. But at the end of this video, I'm going to share the most valuable advice someone could have ever given me. And hopefully the person who gave me this advice is watching. I can't credit you. I can't say your name right now, but I'm so grateful for this, and hopefully you're watching. And yeah, now let's get into this video. Hi guys, it's Mimi, short for Mihle, and this is Teen Talks. Today I'm going to be talking about how to pick your subjects, school subjects, and what I would not do. I'm saying this as if I have already done that, but I am just picking my school subjects, as the title says, picking my school subjects. You know, oh, maybe the title won't say that, we don't know. I don't think the title's going to say that anymore. But anyways, now let's just get straight into it. I don't want to waste your time. But before I get into it, make sure, I just want you guys to know that this is based off my own opinions, and should not be taken, obviously should be taken into consideration depending on what you think. So now I'm going to tell you about oh my goodness, I'm going to tell you, it's not nice. It's really not nice when people are telling you left, right, and center what you should be, when deep down inside you know exactly what you want to do and what you should do. So it's quite frustrating, and I've been there. I am there because I know already the subjects I want to choose, and I've been thinking about it for quite some time, because I'm not one to waste any time. I want everything to go as planned. So I'm going to tell you my journey, and then what I would advise you not to do. So in my family, I've always been the more financially wise person, the more, or cheap, depending on the situation. Anyways, so because of this, my family's always been like, I should do accounting, you know? And people, let me tell you, people will always have opinions about your personality and tell you that, okay, this would suit you. And it's good to hear people's opinions, it's good to take in opinions, hence that's why I'm saying this, because I'm giving you my opinion, which I really think might be valuable. I hope so to you, whoever's watching this. So I just think that when taking in opinions, you should realize that you should always realize who you are, and because you know deep down inside what you want to do and what you're capable of, which sometimes could be a little difficult, because in the beginning of the year, the time I got into grade 9, I was already like, I was happy. I was like, oh, this year I'm picking subjects, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. In the beginning of the year, I knew exactly what subjects I was going to take, and you know, I wasn't going to hear it from anyone, as the stubborn person I am. Anyways, that didn't last for long, because I started realizing things, learning new things about myself, as we always do, and I realized that things change, and I kept on listening to the things my family told me instead of thinking what I want to do. Because whenever they told me because I've always been a people pleaser, which eventually led to my downfall, but that we'll be talking about that in a different video, maybe the next. But you have to stay tuned to find out what exactly was my biggest downfall. And so far, still have a long way to go, but so far my biggest downfall. So you'll have to keep on watching my videos to find out if you want to know, obviously. People and as well as teachers. So today my teacher, actually, I really love her. I really love her. She's a good teacher and she's a vibe, you know. Sometimes obviously she can be a little bit somehow, but she's really a good teacher and a fun person to be around also. So she was telling us that physics, like she was telling us physics is hard, you know. She was basically telling us, right now obviously I take natural science, so she was telling us natural science is not like physics or life science, which I'm not going to say she's wrong in that. I obviously would agree, but I feel like the way she was talking it, she was like discouraging. It felt not that she was discouraging, it felt as if she was discouraging us or me. I didn't feel discouraged because I'm stubborn. I'm like, I have to take physics. Not that I want to take physics, but because physics can open a lot of career opportunities, because I'm still unsure of what I want to do. Physics, you need physics for a lot. And it's not like I won't survive doing physics. But anyway, enough about me. Let's go back into why we're doing this video. So it felt a little bit discouraging. So I just want you guys to know, people will always be saying things. Your family, your teachers, because also my form teacher, she was telling me that she took maths lit and she still got into UJ and WITS, University of Johannesburg and University of Witwatersrand. I think that's the one, but I will pop up the real name of the proper name. I'm not sure, but I think but she got into both schools with maths lit, which is something not a lot of people can tell you that. Even with maths lit, so it doesn't matter pure maths lit, it's about what you can handle, about what you want to do at the end of the day, which is kind of hard. And I know it's hard because in the beginning I knew what I wanted, but closer to the end, when I was starting to discover some other things, I knew I had no idea at all. I had literally 0.00, like zero. Like, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I had no clue. And it's a lot to handle, especially when especially your parents play a big role in it, because sometimes you need to just sit down with your parents. If your parents are the type to tell you that what subjects to pick, and they're the ones basically picking your subjects, sometimes you need to sit down, because obviously when you're picking your subjects, you're getting to an age where it's time to make a decision, because this is the first step in the rest of your life. You know, these subjects that you're about to pick, they are literally going to be the one to tell you what career you're going to do, and your career is going to tell you what kind of life you're going to live. So it's basically the first step in the rest of your life, and it's a really important decision to make, and your parents shouldn't be the one making that decision for you, because they might not even be there when you're living your life and you have a job, and now you're sitting in an office job which you're miserable and you don't enjoy at all, which can cause a lot of mental problems for you. So I say avoid doing that at all costs. At all costs. As we're going into the whole thing of as we're going into the whole thing of like your parents dictating exactly what you're going to do, don't also fall into peer pressure as such. I don't know how better else to phrase it, because just because your friends are going to be taking, don't feel pressured. If your friend is the one taking physics and you feel like physics isn't for you and you still want to live up to that standard because physics is physics, or life science, so don't end up taking physics if you don't want to take physics, because your friend isn't going to be writing the exam with you and you're struggling because physics just isn't for you. All subjects aren't for example, I am so bad at social science, so geography and history in general, I am so bad at them. I'm really bad, so bad, and it's just not for me. The same way physics or life science just won't be for you, and that's okay, because it's better to strive into somewhere where you're doing good, where you know what you're doing, where you enjoy. It's better, you're going to thrive in such situations where you feel comfortable in your skin, you are confident in your knowledge about the subjects you're doing, and that's going to eventually bring out your best self. It's going to make you want to like school more because you're thriving, and you're not going to hate a place where you're thriving, So don't go into peer pressure. Don't choose subjects because your friends are taking them, which is something. And I'd say don't ask your friends what subjects you're going to pick, because I'm pretty sure you don't know I'm sure they don't even know what subjects they're going to pick, because if you don't know, doesn't mean they know. And so at the end of the day, don't pick your subjects based on other people's opinions. That's literally the whole thing of this video. Don't pick your subjects based on other people's opinions, right? It's good to have opinions, but don't pick based on their opinions. Pick based on what will feel good for you, where you will thrive. Pick an environment where you will thrive, because that's going to bring out your best self. Speaking of which, I had promised you guys that I was going to tell you the best advice that I have received in this whole picking subjects thing, and how I already know what subjects I'm going to pick, which is something I never thought I would have said a few weeks back. So basically, what you need to do, obviously you already have an idea of what you want to do or what potentially you could want to do. And let me tell you something. They say do your research about the career path that you want to take. But for some people it could be so hard, because the only thing that's really available to us is Google. And Google, it's basically a search engine. So you put in your prompt, what you want to figure out, and it's going to give you articles and articles and articles, and maybe some obviously sponsored posts, but that doesn't matter. But it's going to give you articles, a lot of articles. So it's not going to help. I mean, if you're the reading type, I can't, because usually I've done it obviously because I had to, but you have to read through dozens of articles, and that's going to be so hard because articles are mostly also based on other people's opinions. So exactly what are you doing for yourself? Anywho, as I was saying, what this person told me, I need to take my options and write them down. So for example, let's take EGD. Right now, technology, you do obviously part of the drawings, which is in EGD, and I literally thrived with that. I picked up how to do it so quickly. I enjoyed it because I picked it up so quickly and I was thriving. And that's why I was like, oh, okay, maybe I'll take EGD, which is, EGD stands for Engineering Graphic Design. That's what it stands for. So, but, and then he told me, I mean, the person told me that you need to write, okay, you take your, obviously the subjects that you're going to have to need for your potential career paths that you want to take. So if EGD is one of them, you'd write why it would be good for you to take the subject and why it would be bad for you to take the subject. So the reasons why you would take the subject and the reasons why you wouldn't take the subject. So after I realized the career path that I wanted to go on, the good thing about EGD was that I thrived. I loved doing the drawings in technology. Just the snippet that I got, I just loved it. Which obviously doesn't mean all of the drawings that I did, the little toe or pinky in the water isn't really all that is there. It's just a little bit of the bigger thing, the bigger picture, basically. So I know that's not exactly what it is, but because of that small detail, I loved it. I just loved it so much. And that's why I would have taken it. And why I wouldn't have taken it, the career paths that I want to take don't really align with EGD. So basically, if I took EGD couldn't have done anything for me because I don't want to be a designer, so I wouldn't take EGD, I guess. And a civil engineer, in the beginning I had said I wanted to be a civil engineer, and I realized I don't even know what that is, what they do, which is something I could have looked into, but once I did, it wasn't something that I found myself wanting to do. So in the end, as painful as it was like EGD can't do anything for me, and in the long run it's not really going to help me. And that's also one thing you guys need to think about, is how these things will help you in the long run. You can enjoy it for now, but how will these things be of benefit to you, present you, and future you as well? You need to think ahead. That's also something you need to think about. Always think ahead. So with that, it really didn't help me. So I did that with the rest of the subjects that I would have needed to take, and it was like, okay, I had these subjects, and I'm like, okay. Then after writing, you write them down. I know it's really good to journal. It's kind of like journaling, I guess, but you really need to journal. People advise journaling, but it's just not for me. Journaling isn't for me. So when he said that, I was just like, can I really do this? And I realized, okay, I just need to do it because I was literally stuck. Because what could I have done? I mean, there's nothing you can lose. There's nothing to lose if you write it down. So you write it down exactly what you're thinking, and don't try to make it. Don't lie to yourself. Actually, it's just you in the room writing. You don't need to lie to yourself. Just write exactly how it is, and that's what I did. And then I realized, okay, like EGD, that was kind of didn't make sense for me to take it. I realized things like that, and by doing that, it can also help you a lot. So I just advise that you do it and try it, because if it helped me, it might help you too. And obviously you don't have to do it, but if you're stuck, if you are as stuck as I were, I really struggle, like, what's the right thingy for that? If you're struggling as much as I was struggling, let's just say it like that. If you were struggling as much as I was struggling, it might help you. And it's not guaranteed that it will help you, but you have literally nothing to lose. So I hope this video changes your perception and gives you also the motivation if you're struggling with your parents and you can't seem to drill it through their head that this is what you want to do and there's nothing they can do about it because it's your life and your future, your parents can be so difficult because they can also be like, oh, it's my school fees that I'm just imagining. All after that, if they don't want, all you can do is pray for them. Pray for them and ask God to be like, God, please can you just do this thing for me so that, because obviously if you're very positive, also rethink and also listen. I know this is going to be hard to hear, but might be actually, but listen to your parents and the points that they're making. Obviously, as I said before, take their opinions into consideration, but don't base your whole choice on their opinions alone. I watched, obviously there's not a lot of YouTube videos on it, but I watched the few YouTube videos that I found, as well as other people's opinions. But don't do it just taking that into consideration and think for yourself, okay, this makes sense or this doesn't make sense. So hopefully this could be of good help for you. And if you want to know what subjects I chose, please comment down below. And if you're struggling with your parents or struggling to find out anything, comment down below. And if you want to help other people figure out what they want to do, comment down below and let's make this a whole community where we help each other in figuring this out, because I know I couldn't have been the only one who was struggling. And so just comment down below and please make sure to like this video if you did, and please subscribe to find out more videos and to find out more things if you want to. So, and if you know anyone who's struggling, like your friends, if you aren't struggling and you found out what subjects you want to take and you know your friends haven't really figured it out, send a video to them. Maybe this will smack them in the head and be like, okay, wake up, you need to think. This concerns your future and everything. Your whole plan, your whole future plan can be ruined. And if you don't have a plan, you need to smack them in the head and be like, wake up, because some people say, you hear some people say that, oh, children, like, you shouldn't be thinking about the future now, you're still small. And literally, it's just a few years. And the way how this year has gone so fast, the next few years are going to move just as fast, and soon you realize the time is gone. Also, oh my goodness, there's one thing I want to say before I close the video. If you pick your subjects, don't have the mentality that you're going to change them. Okay? Don't have the mentality that oh no, I can change them after, or because let me tell you, the reason why I was so stressed about it was because once I picked my subjects, I don't want to change them at all. So that's why I was stressing a lot. Because think about it. If term 1 you took physics, and then you're just like, oh, I just want to test and see if it's for me. You take it the whole of term 1, and then you get your reports, then you realize, okay, no, I don't really like it, and then you change it. And then now when you start, okay, life science, then you go and try life science, and then you realize, oh, I'm so behind, and you realize that everyone's in front and you don't know a thing about what they're talking about, and it's term 2, so you'd be writing exams that time, meaning things are going to be harder, meaning the exam is going to be about term 1 and term 2. Term 1, which you didn't even learn. You learned physics term 1 and not life science. So you're going to be put into more pressure, more stress, which leads into bad decisions, which leads into a horrible life, which I'm pretty sure nobody wants. So at the end of the day, think about it, make sure you plan it out. Even if you don't want to plan out your future, at least take this first step into planning. This should be your sign to take this first step and plan into your future. Because what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Oh my goodness. So, like, don't also, like, put too much pressure on yourself, but just think about how, look at me contradicting myself, but think about how you have so much that, think of, okay, obviously this quote, I don't know, I'm sorry, someone said this, I'm sorry, I can't credit you, but I heard this somewhere. Procrastination is procrastination removes the life you could have lived. So imagine you could have been your best self, you could have been that doctor that you wanted to be, you could have been that actor you wanted to be, you could have been that engineer you wanted to be, you could have been that scientist you wanted to be, but because of procrastination, you aren't. You end up in your parents' place, which isn't going to be there forever. You end up in your parents' place, you end up in a slump which you really can't get out of because you are miserable, which you don't want. Think about it, you are young, use your brain, get that creative juices flowing. If you don't know what you want to do, start the journey now. Don't think about, I'll think about it later. Procrastination removes the life you could have lived. I'm really butchering the quote, but it's something like that. And anyways, I've spoken too much, I've rambled too much. I also have to get back to things that I have to do because I'm still in school. So thank you for watching, and thank you for watching. And if you liked the video, make sure to like the video, and hopefully I see you in the next one. Bye.